Welcome to the Out of the Boardroom podcast. Today, we commemorate the 39th anniversary of EDSA People Power Revolution. We have a powerful conversation ahead as we explore a critical question. Why have we been failing as a democracy? Joining us today is Dr. Jess P. Estanislao, Senior Fellow of Center for Research and Communication. Dr. Estanislao has been at the forefront of analyzing our nation's democratic journey, particularly the 39 years since the EDSA People Power Revolution, which will help us understand where we are and where we need to go. But this isn't just a story of challenges. It's also about hope and possibility. We'll be talking about Dream PH 2046, a vision for comprehensive transformation that could reshape our nation's future. Stay with us as we unpack this crucial moment in our nation's history.
Hello, have a good day. My name is Dr. Jess Stanislao. I've been asked to talk about February 25, 2025. We're marking it as a red letter day in our calendar, but we're observing it as a regular working day. Perhaps it is a good opportunity for us to ask ourselves, since the glory days of EDSA 1, when we came proud as Filipinos, fighting for our country, reestablishing the institutions of democracy. What have you accomplished since? And many of us look at the environment around us and we have plenty of things to complain about. There are still far too many people in our midst. We're told corruption is widespread and endemic. And above all, there are too few Filipinos who are thinking of the country. Each one of us is busy thinking about ourselves, our money, our pocketbook, our bank accounts, how we get forward and upwards in our respective professions and endeavors. But we have very little time to think about what the country needs and what can we do about the needs of the country. And that's why there is too much focus on my things, our things, my personal achievement, my family welfare, the wealth of my family, taking care of the children. All of these things are legitimate concerns. But let us not forget, we are one people. We are Filipinos. We have a country to build. And that's why instead of just thinking about ourselves, we also have to think by and large, what is it that the country needs out of us? And obviously, the many problems that the country faces, poor people, corruption, school standards are falling. People are complaining about our educational system. Family ties have been broken. And the question arises, after 39 years of democracy, where are we? And many people are saying we're stuck. We don't even look at elections as great opportunities to bring about change anymore. It's the same old families, the same old dynasties that keep on presenting themselves and winning power, positions of power, where they have access to the public treasury, which they can, in many instances, raid to be able to perpetuate themselves in power. So it's a never ending cycle of the same old people on top, while many of us are left at the bottom, wallowing in our own problems, with our own challenges, and with our own difficulties. There must be change because democracy is not supposed to be like that. Democracy is supposed to deliver positive outcomes for the welfare of all the people. not just a few who become richer and richer, leaving everybody behind. Democracy is supposed to be for the common wealth or the common now. And where are we? And people are asking if change cannot come from the top, where should it come from? Well, the answer perhaps is it should come from the bottom, from us, ordinary citizens. If the politicians do not address the issues and the problems that the country faces, perhaps we, as responsible citizens, can take up the cudgel so that we can think about the problems ourselves and bring in the solutions in solidarity with our fellow citizens. And if the elections do not change anything because the whole system is rigged, well, then maybe we can introduce change through other means, such as through peaceful solidarity movements of ordinary citizens working for the common good of all. Now, all of this is a pipe dream. These are very good things to say, but nothing will happen unless we have a change in mindset. Each one of us, many of us, and that change in mindset must be that transformation must start with me. Change must start with me. I must change for the better every day in the way I live, in the way I work, in the way I would deal with people, in the places where I'm employed, in the places where I have to carry out my professional duties. And then going there ourselves, but to think in terms of our respective families. How are we bonding with our parents? Are we doing everything possible to make them proud of us? Do we even go out of our way in order to show some love and care and affection to make their day much better, more pleasant? In what way are we of any help to our brothers and sisters, to our relatives who might be staying together with us? And those people who work with us, those that we interact with in school and in the office, how do we treat them? Do we even think about what we can do to make them smile, to greet them, to please them in any way, to serve them in any way? These are the foundations upon which a civil society is built. And a strong civil society is a prerequisite for a strong country. Not only should we be talking about civil society, but to talk about a strong, profitable business. We have millions of small and medium enterprises. Most of them do not have access to bank finance. Bank finance in this country is concentrated to the few big corporations and the big families that probably own most of the financial resources of the country. Where the small businesses, they cannot thrive. They have not thrived. Their profitability is low. And the death rate of small businesses is very high. And no wonder the base of our economy is not very strong. And what are we going to do about it? This is a challenge. And while we are very proud of our banks, they're some of the best, strongest banks that we have in Southeast Asia. The reality is that there is little inclusion in our financial system. Most people do not have any relationships with financial institutions. Most people do not have any access to capital markets. And our stock exchange remains the smallest in Southeast Asia. It is also the most lethargic. We're being left behind. So business also must go through a transformation. That's why corporate governance is so important. And we think in terms of government. We think that government is a monster. But in reality is that we have shown local government units can prove that it can serve the people well if they put their minds into it. Our public hospitals are improving, but they are showing they can improve if they employ the standards and the discipline for good public governance. This is what we need to do to strengthen not only ourselves, to strengthen our families, but to strengthen our civil society, our businesses, our financial system, and of course, our public institutions. There's a lot of work that can be done. And you know what? We need people, of course, who can lead us for the very top. But absent that leadership, we probably can take up the gadgets for ourselves. That's why this is where responsible citizenship comes in. This is why there's a call for a national transformation. But that call is not addressed to politicians only. It is addressed to all of us, to each Filipino, to every family, to every business enterprise, to every school, to every hospital, to every local government unit, to every local government entity. But then all of us thinking not only of ourselves, but thinking about the common good, what is best for building a dream society which is in line with the hopes and aspirations of all Filipinos. I hope that as we celebrate February 25, let's not forget the dreams and ideas we entertained some 39 years ago. Democracy can't work if we make it work for ourselves, starting with ourselves and moving away from ourselves, building strong families, building strong civil societies, building strong businesses, strong banks, small governments, strong government institutions, and finally, a society where citizens care about the country that they can build together. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you for joining us on the Out of the Boardroom podcast. If today's discussion has sparked your interest in Philippine governance, we invite you to continue the conversation. Don't forget to follow us for more thought-provoking discussions. And if you enjoyed this episode, consider sharing it with others who might find it valuable. Until next time, keep engaging, keep questioning, and keep hoping for a better tomorrow.